Tonight's Naylor Profile, brought to you by Unified Bank, is Naylor's goaltender Hayden Hawkey, who's coming off of his first pro victory on Sunday afternoon. And Hayden, how special a game was that for you?
Unfortunate circumstance, but nice to get the opportunity, and definitely nice to get a win out of it too.
What's it like for a goaltender, the preparation from it when you know that you're not getting the start on a given day, and then all of a sudden you get the situation that occurs in the second period and you've got to ramp yourself mentally up because you're going in that net?
Yeah, it kind of comes with the territory. I mean, you obviously don't expect anything like that to happen, but you know it always can. And again, it's just part of the job. Like, it's something you sign up for, and kind of when it happened, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, here we go, it's time, and just, you get in there, and it's all muscle memory from there.
Are you one of those goaltenders that will prepare differently if you're starting or if you're not starting? Does that go into anything at all?
I think everyone is. Like, you just more stretching, more focused. But if I'm playing, I like to keep it light. Like, I'm not Mr. Serious. Like, I like to kind of laugh and joke a little bit with the guys when we get to the rink, but kind of start to dial it in more as we approach game time.
How did the game go along for you? You went in, team was down by 2 goals. You had to kill a penalty. That was your first task at hand.
Yeah.
But then you had the intermission, and then the team really started to come alive in the third period. What did you notice in the net?
Yeah, going in on PK was tough. Not ideal. But the D were great in front of me. Like, everyone was great in front of me. It made the job a lot easier. And like you said, guys came out buzzing in the third. We killed off the rest of the penalty and just got back to work.
And then you get the overtime victory, which is off a transition rush. What was your reaction when you saw the puck go in the net?
Relieved. I was glad it was over. Glad we got a win. But it's more kind of like just settling. You know, like, you did what you were supposed to do, and you got the job done.
That was your first professional victory, so I'm sure that your phone was going off after the game. We got a retweet from the team from John Buchagras. Who did you have a chance to talk to? Who was your first phone call or text message after the game?
I texted my parents just because it's mom and dad, you know. But reached out to everyone, a couple family friends and aunts and uncles got the congrats text. But, you know, kind of a fluky thing. I want to get one where I play the whole game, you know.
Well, hopefully that can come your way this weekend. But let's talk about the journey that it took for you to get your first pro win, because it was one where you started last season with Kansas City. You played 3 games out of the chute, and then Sunday was actually your first action since last November. What was it like going through a full year, basically being the third string in Kansas City, coming here, and then ultimately getting the chips to fall the way they did on Sunday?
Yeah, November 1st, 2019 was the last one. So quite a long stretch, but, you know, at the time I didn't really know what to expect going into my first year pro, and just with the way Calgary was set up, they had a lot of goalies signed NHL deals, and kind of clogged things up down for us. So I got put in the stands for a lot of games and watched a lot of hockey and tried to learn from it. And you're just trying to prepare yourself for when you do get an opportunity, and it could be a week, a month, or a year or longer. And you just kind of got to make the most of your time, and it's really up to you to do so.
How are you able to stay fresh, and especially because as much as shots are shots, there's got to be a difference between what you're seeing at practice and what you're seeing in a game?
Yes and no. Like, you can recreate a lot of stuff during practice. You're getting a lot of shots from everywhere and situations from everywhere. And coaches usually do a good job of incorporating drills that make that easier for you. But at the end of the day, like, you're in a game and blood starts going, adrenaline starts going, and you're just trying to compete. Like, you're not thinking about what you're doing. You're just going out there and playing.
What about from a mental aspect of it? Because like you said, you're a true professional. You were able to keep your head high every day, but did it wear on you at all, you know, just kind of not knowing what the future held, or when the next time you were going to be in that crease was going to be?
Oh, definitely. Like, going back to the end of last season, when everything got closed, I ended up going to Greenville about 4 days before everything got shut down. So I thought I was getting a chance then, and then kind of gets pulled out from under my feet. And one of those things in the time that I was pretty upset about, but just kind of had to look forward and think that there's a reason why it happened, you know. So mentally, you just come to work every day and try to get better.
when it did shut down this year, and then you had the whole summer to think about it, what thoughts went through your head and trying to make sure that you were able to get an opportunity, which here it is in Wheeling, West Virginia, to really get yourself going up again and start to really build that pro career up?
My first thought initially was just kind of hit the reset button and realize how long the off season was going to be. Realize what I needed to do to improve my body over that time, and it was the longest chunk of time I've had basically being off the ice or off a team, just because things kept getting pushed and canceled early, and it was just a big chunk of time. So it was nice to have all that time to be able to work out a lot, to increase flexibility. You know, there's all these things you want to work on, but you don't necessarily have the time in the off season because we're going for 7-8 months a year, and you can't pack it all into 3 or 4 months. So it was kind of nice to have that big block of time, and I could do everything that I wanted to do in a summer.
How excited, how fortunate do you feel to be having the opportunity that you do now, and how much fun is it to be around this group?
That's the thing. Hockey's fun, right? Like that's why we do it. We're all having fun, and I think that's just the most exciting thing to me is getting back in a game and competing with the guys. Because after going to war for 2.5 hours, coming off and again that sigh of relief and just knowing you got a job done is a good feeling.
Well, Hayden, I want to congratulate you again on pro victory number 1. We'll make sure that we get a 60-minute victory for you here in the next, coming games. But great job on that, and continued success this season. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
Thanks, DJ.
Hayden Hawkey, our Unified Bank Nailers profile. We'll take a break and come back with intermission coverage on the Nailers Broadcast Network, presented by Main Street Bank.